So you guys remember when I said I wasn't gonna go live for a while? Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna. As I noticed, the AP released their top 25 today for the NCAA, and I figured I gotta do my schedule predictions. And because I don't know how my schedule's gonna come out later on, video wise, figured I'm bored, got nothing better to do. I'm a lunatic. Let's go live for, a quick little schedule preview stream. We're going to go through all top 25 team schedules, and I'm going to give my thoughts and possibly predict them. Now, I will warn you guys, I don't really follow, like, a lot of these teams. I mean, my range is really Ohio State, Big Ten, and, occasionally like SEC, whatever, I don't religiously follow anything other than Ohio State or Big Ten because that's my conference and that's my team. And every once in a while, I'll watch like a game that's on TV when my team's not playing. But for the most part, I'm Ohio State all day. You know me by now. You know me by you know me by now. My God, I can't talk. So, anyways, let's jump right in. For those wondering how this will cook up, here is the look for. Let me see if I can find it. There you are. So here are the standings for. Hang on, let me see if we can fix this thing a little bit. There we go. Now the ones I'll be doing are the ones on the left, starting with BYU. So with that being said, let's do a little thing here. I'm going to come back to myself, pull up their schedule, get me going right here, and then boop! Look at that. It's the BYU Cougars schedule. But yeah, I don't expect a whole lot of people to be in this stream. If you want to come in, give me your prediction. That's dope. Come say hi, whatever. It's late at night. I don't think people are going to be watching this. I'm bored. It is what it is. So, week one, the BYU Cougs start off their season September 3rd, much like a lot of other teams, against the Bulls of USF. Now, they have a new quarterback, Bohannon from Baylor, which is kind of funny because look who they play week two. They play Bohannon's old team after they play Bohannon. That's kind of funny. But again, being as they're way out west, I don't really catch a lot of BYU games. When they're on, they're not usually on. Look at the time that they're on, bro. Baylor, 10:15 p.m. My goodness. Sheesh. But you gotta love, those late night games. I mean, who doesn't? But yeah, USF, they have Baylor, they go to Oregon. That'll be a tough game. Especially Oregon, new coaching staff and everything. Wyoming, Utah State, okay? Notre Dame, at Allegiant. I believe that will be the game where the Irish will be donning their, I guess, new uniforms that they got. I know they did like a whole hype video about it. I think they spoofed a movie. I can't remember what movie it was, but it was pretty clever. They had the freaking guys going on like a scavenger hunt looking for their new jerseys. It's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Then they have Arkansas, Liberty, East Carolina, Boise State. They have a bye week. Okay. And then they play Utah Tech. Now, I'll admit, I saw that name pop up. And I'm like, what the heck's a Utah Tech? Like, not even kidding. Like, I swear, it's like a made up school. Almost. Did a little research. As I am lagging, of course. I did a little research. It's a FCS team, and they've been playing ball since 2006. So, yeah, that's a dub in my book. Imagine you lose to Utah Tech. Dang. Then you have Stanford. Okay. overall, I mean, I don't know how good BYU is going to be. Again, don't really watch them too much. I know, they had Zach Wilson. I think Ohio State got a quarterback from that area too, coming in. Yeah, Devin Brown, I think, from around there. Yeah. All right. But USF should be a dub. Baylor, that's going to be a tough game. Very tough. Dave Aranda's going to have that team looking good. Oregon, always tough at Autzen, especially like a middle afternoon game. Wyoming should be a dub. Utah State, probably a dub. Notre Dame, oh God. We'll know a lot about Notre Dame after week one because they play my Buckeyes. But my gosh, I don't know who's going to win that game. I'm going to say Notre Dame because, of course, Arkansas, very good team, underrated. I could see Arkansas taking down BYU. Liberty should be a dub for BYU. East Carolina, same thing. Boise State. I could see BYU taking them down. Then they have the bye week. They should beat Utah Tech. And then Stanford. Stanford's been down for a while now. But it would be so Stanford to beat BYU. But I'm going to have BYU going, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 games. I'm going to have them going, let's say 8-4. 8-4. Realistically, could see them losing to Baylor. Maybe Oregon. I'm going to say Notre Dame. And I'm going to say they lose a game that they should win. Yeah, I'm going to say Arkansas. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening. Yep. I wouldn't even be shocked if they lost to USF. That could be a game they lose. It's on the road in Tampa, in Florida, and we don't know how Florida weather can be in September. It could be a little hot, could be storming, could be anything. But yeah, I'm gonna say 8-4, maybe 9-3. Now again, I don't really watch them too much. I know someone could be watching this later on, being like, "Oh, this guy's a loser." Well, living in Ohio or West Virginia, where I do now, it's kind of hard to watch them because they're usually, if they're even on TV, it's at night. And by the time my team's played, I'm usually ready for bed. It's like either maybe watching another Pac-12 team or something. But yeah, I could see BYU. I could see BYU being something to watch. Now, next up, let's see who we got. We got Houston up next. Ooh, we're going to the AAC now. This should be fun. So what I'm gonna do, we go to the American, we go to Houston, we look up their 2022 football schedule, and we wait for it to load. Okay, so here is the Houston Cougars. So yeah, we're starting off this little thing with 2 straight Cougars teams. Cougars. Not that kind of Cougar, Zach Wilson. But no, let's be real here. So they start off with Texas San Antonio. Don't sleep on the Roadrunners. They're a very good team. I mean, they were a very good team. Don't sleep on them. But Houston, I think they'll be too good for them. Sorry. Texas Tech, Jones AT&T Stadium in Lubbock. Yeah, that'll be a fun game. Nice little Texas matchup there. I could see Houston taking that one easily. Or not easily, but I could see it happening. Kansas, really? Give me Houston. Rice, Houston. Tulane, give me Houston. Memphis. Ooh. It's tough because Memphis is usually very good, and it's in Memphis too. Okay, I think Memphis takes that. Then you go to Navy. Then you go to face Navy in Maryland. Navy's underrated as always. They could sneak up on you. I'm gonna say Houston squeaks away with that one. I think Houston takes that. USF, give me Houston. SMU, I'm gonna say SMU wins that game. Yeah, SMU. Temple, I'm gonna say Houston, and then ECU, I'm gonna go Houston as well. Then they have Tulsa. We faced Tulsa last year, being a Buckeye fan. All right, I think Tulsa can take them. Oh, crazy dog, you don't know what you're talking about. Again, like, do I have to keep reminding you? I'm literally just giving my honest thoughts. You know, they might get blown out in some of these games. Who knows? They might go freaking undefeated. Who knows? I think Tulsa takes it here. I really do. Tulsa's a pretty good team, from what I remember. I'm gonna have to really start paying attention to some more teams, though. Are you just admitting you're a casual? I mean, it's kind of hard to watch other teams when you're trying to focus on your own team, you know? But I think Tulsa could take them. And so, 6. I think Houston could easily go 9-3. Mm-hmm. The only games I think they really could lose: Texas Tech. It'd be hilarious if they lost to UTSA. Texas Tech, Memphis. Yeah, I'm gonna say Texas Tech, Memphis. Give them Tulsa. I'm gonna say they lose to SMU. Yeah. So all 3 losses are gonna be on the road. I should say 8-4. I'll say they lose to Tulsa. Yeah. Got to give them a home loss in there somewhere. Yeah, I think Tulsa could take them. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Houston could be a good team. Have to really start paying attention to a lot of these other teams, though. But yeah, let me know what you think about Houston if you're watching this later, because right now I doubt anybody's watching it right now. It's freaking 12:22. I'm gonna try and fly through these a little bit more, a little bit faster, so I'm not sitting here for 2 hours. All right, next we got. Oh, here we go. Here's a team I know, low key. We're staying in the same conference, but we're going with the conference champ, Cincinnati. The Bearcats lost Desmond Ritter, but they got a nice squad coming in. Luke Fickle. I see you, my dude. I see you. It's too bad you couldn't make us proud and win that playoff game. You know? But honestly, it's whatever. You know? The Ohioan in me wanted to see Cincinnati take care of business. But of course they couldn't. It appears we're like the only team that can beat Alabama in the playoffs. Like other than Clemson. Pretty much. Georgia. Now with Georgia, yeah. Yeah, you can add Georgia to that now. That's tough. Looking at their schedule, and okay, I like their schedule. Interesting. Arkansas to start it off at Razorback in Fayetteville. Ooh, that's going to be a fun matchup. Ooh, yeah. I've heard Arkansas is a fun team. And we all know about Cincinnati's team. They got a pretty good squad too. That could be like that low-key barn burner game that nobody thought of. We'll all be sitting around our TVs watching the games. And of course, I think we play after these guys, so that'd be even better. I'll be sitting here watching Cincy and Arkansas or like some other game, and my eye will be on the ticker, and I'll see like Arkansas Cincy like tied up, like 3 minutes to go in the game, and they're like, well, damn. And then I'll flip over to that station, and then I'll just be on the edge of my seat watching these two teams go back and forth, seeing who can make the big get the final touchdown or field goal. So they face Arkansas. It's in Arkansas, so that'll be a tough game. I think overall, Arkansas at home. I'm gonna give them the home field. Give me Arkansas at home. Then they face Kennesaw State. Okay, whatever. Give me Cincy. Then they have Miami, Ohio. Give me Cincy. Indiana. Bearcats all day. Then they go to Tulsa. Tulsa's tricky. I'm gonna say Cincy takes that one. USF. I'm gonna go Cincy again. Cincy starting off their first half of the season, 5-1. Well, hello, Bearcats. Then they have the bye week. Then they come back against SMU in Texas, in Dallas, D Town. All right, CJ should win Heisman. He should. He really should. You see how he looked freaking last year when they were trolling him? Dude looked like he wanted to punch. Was it? Who was that? Desmond Howard or yeah, I think it was Desmond, right? He wanted to punch dude in the face. He looked pissed. He was like, he hit the. If eyes could kill, my dude would have been gone. He would have been ash. But SMU off their bye week, I'm gonna say SMU steals one. Yeah, SMU steals one. So that's 2 losses. Yeah, that's yeah, 2 losses in 7 games. So 5-2. UCF at the bounce house. Ooh, that place will be bouncing, of course, as it always is. I'm gonna go Cincy. Navy. Oh yeah, I know, of course, Paranjot, of course. Navy could be a tough one. I'm gonna go Cincy. East Carolina, Cincy. Temple, Cincy. Tulane. Tulane's a tough one. You know, we saw how good they were, how they, challenged Oklahoma. Like, they damn near beat Oklahoma last year. They honestly could have. It's at Nippert, though. I'm going to have to roll with the Bearcats. So I'm going to say 10-2. Yeah, how about that? 10-2 for the Bearcats this year. They might be better. Who knows? They might be able to go undefeated. Who knows with this team? They have a good squad. But yeah, that's my prediction for Cincinnati. All right, so let's do this again. All right, who's next? Oh, we got ourselves an ACC team now. Okay, let's see what them Demon Deacons got to do at Wake Forest. So we go to their 2022 schedule, and we wait for it to load up. Okay. All right, you get let's do Wake Forest. Let's see what they got here. So we come over here and okay, interesting start at Truist Field at Winston-Salem. They play something called a VMI Cadets. That's obviously Virginia Military Institute. Pretty weird way to say cadet, right? Cadet, like, huh? Okay. Then they play Vanderbilt. I think they start off with 2 dubs. Liberty, probably a win. Clemson, unfortunately, that's a loss. Florida State, ooh, in Florida State. I can't wait to beat the team up north. Same here, buddy. I think they lose to Florida State. Something tells me they lose to Florida State on the road, and that's actually their that's their second like road game. So I think they lose to Florida State. They bounce back and they beat Army. Then they face Boston College. I think they squeak one past them. I think they take down Louisville. I think they lose to North Carolina State. They bounce back by beating North Carolina. And then they face Syracuse and then Duke. They round out with 2 straight W's. So out of the 12 games, let's see here. Yeah, out of the 12 games, probably 8-4. Yep, losses to Clemson and Florida State. And then I'm gonna say they lose to. Yeah, I'm gonna say Clemson, Florida State. I'm gonna say I think Boston College actually could take them down. I'll say that. Yeah, Boston College and then NC State. Oh yeah, there you go. That's 4 losses. All right, let's keep it moving so we're not wearing getting stalled out here. I want to be on here all night. All right, moving on. We got the Rebs. So we go to the SEC. We all know how them SEC teams be scheduling. So be prepared to see a freaking cupcake team at freaking week 11, like they usually do. My top four for playoffs: Bama, OSU, Clemson, Georgia. All right. Talk about my top four here in a minute after I'm done here. So we're going Ole Miss, and they face Troy. Now, once upon a time, Troy went into the Death Valley in LSU and beat Tigers. So don't sleep on Troy. Don't sleep on them. But I think Ole Miss might just be a little too much. Then they play Central Arkansas. Like, okay. So I see they get their cupcakes done a little earlier than usual than other teams. Okay. Then they have Georgia Tech. That's a dub in my book. Tulsa, probably a dub. Kentucky, Will Levis is still there. They could be a challenge. I honestly think they could take them. But I'm actually going to say Kentucky takes that one. So that's actually their first actual loss of the year right there. So they go 4-1. Vanderbilt, W. Auburn, loss. LSU, loss. A&M, loss. Damn, Ole Miss loses 3 straight games. Yikes. Then they end their season with buzzsaw. Alabama, loss. Arkansas, damn. Do I have them beating Arky? Sheesh. I think, I think they squeak one out against Arky. And then they face Mississippi State, and I think they beat them. Yes, sir. So in all, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. I'm gonna say 5 or 6 losses, depending on that Arky game. I'll give them I'll give them 5. I'll say they win that Arky game. I'll give them 5 losses. They lose Kentucky and then 3 straight against Auburn, LSU, and Texas A&M. And then they lose to Alabama, and then they win their final 2. Essentially, keep their, 500 season. But other than that, not much there. All right, so yeah, 7-5 for the Rebs. And now we move all the way up to another team. Speaking of Will Levis, we talk about Kentucky. And their schedule looks pretty tough, not gonna lie. They have Miami, Ohio, dub, Florida, in Florida. Florida's been having some fun on the recruiting trail this year. I know that much. That's a dub. No, dub for Florida. That's a loss for Kentucky, unfortunately. I think Florida somehow takes them down. But then again, Florida might not be that great this year. They're going to be great next year. I don't know about this year, though. I think, actually, now that I think about it, give Kentucky that win on the road in the swamp. So they beat Miami, Ohio. They somehow beat Florida. That'll be the big win of the year in my book. Then they use that to beat Youngstown State and then NIU. And then, like I said, they beat Ole Miss. So overall, at best, they win their first 5 games? Yeah, 5-0. Then they go to South Carolina. They could beat them. And then Mississippi State. Probably beat them. Like, really, they could be a really good team this year. But in reality, this is what I'm going to have in reality. Beat Miami, Ohio, lose to Florida. You rattle off 2 straight wins, or 3 straight wins. Of course, like I said, they beat Ole Miss. So 3 straight wins. Then I think you, actually, no, I forgot they have Rattler over there in South Carolina. That's right. I think they lose to South Carolina. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they lose to South Carolina. Then they beat Mississippi State. I think they go to Tennessee and they lose. Eee. Then they go to Mizzou. They win. Early. Beat Vanderbilt. Lose to Georgia. And then Louisville in the rivalry game. I think they beat Louisville. So in all, they lose to Florida. They lose to South Carolina. They lose to Tennessee. That's 3. And then Georgia. That's 4 losses. 4 losses for Mark Stoops and the Wildcats. But best case scenario, they probably lose 2 games. Best case. That's probably Florida and Georgia. This could be a good team. This could be a really good team for Kentucky. As long as they stay healthy and, Will Levis isn't a scrub. All right, let's move on. People are going to roast me so hard. But just remember, I'm a Buckeye fan. I'm naturally biased, I guess. You know. So now we move on to another SEC team. It's pretty crazy how you have 3 straight SEC teams. This time, though, it's Archie. So I could just go back to Ole Miss's schedule and go to Archie. And we already know about a lot of their schedule. As I've mentioned, they play Cincinnati week 1. I think that is I gave that to Archie. Yep. I gave Archie the win there. We could go back and actually, you could just go back to that part in the video and just listen to what I got to say about that one. That's what I'll do probably. South Carolina, I think Archie takes them down there. Missouri State, give me Archie. Arkansas, A&M, give me A&M. Alabama, duh, give me the Tide. They go to Mississippi State. Okay, give me Archie. BYU, I already talked about that one. Go check that out. Auburn, yeah, I think Auburn takes them down low key there. Yeah, Auburn could be a good team this year. Liberty, teams are playing Liberty this year. Damn. I think Archie takes him down. Jack Sawyer should pop off this year, so yeah, he should. Dude's looking like a monster. And then you have LSU. And LSU's looking interesting because Miles Brennan just left. So I'm gonna say I think LSU might lose that game. Yeah. I'm gonna go Arkansas. And then Ole Miss. I've already just talked about them. Go check that out in that video, that section. Mizzou, I'm gonna go Archie. So realistically, I could see maybe 3 or 4 losses for Arkansas. Bearcats could be a loss. Was a loss. Auburn's a loss. So that's what 3 confirmed losses right there. A&M, Bama, and Auburn. And then of course I talked about Cincinnati and all that. You can go back and get your opinion on that one. I'm pretty sure I had a freaking Cincy going and losing that game. I had the Archie taking them down at home. So that should be a good one. Yeah, that's right. I had Archie winning, I believe. I'm pretty sure I did. But you can go back and check. Fact check me or whatever. As with Ole Miss and that. I don't really feel like going all the way back and looking, you know. So yeah, I think confirmed probably 3 or 4 losses for Arkansas. All right, moving on. We finally get to Big Ten teams. My goodness, Wisconsin. Man, they've had a fun couple years, eh? They were kind of mid a couple, last couple years when they weren't getting stomped on by us in the championship game. But yeah, we look at Wisconsin, Illinois State, dub. With Washington State, that's a dub. New Mexico State, dub. Ohio State, I think you know how that's gonna go. Ha ha. Illinois, W. Northwestern at Ryan Field. Ooh, Ryan Field's a tough place to play. I already know that much. Don't sleep on them Wildcats. Dang, dude. That's a toughie. That one could be a flip-flop game. Maybe the worst PA president ever agreed for Roger to have the last say. Yeah, I don't know. Northwestern. I'm gonna say Wisconsin escapes that one. Yeah, Michigan State, as always, they're gonna be tough. Mel Tucker finally has the team looking decent. but I'm going to say Wisconsin wins that one. Purdue at Camp Randall. Give me the badges. Then they ended with Maryland, Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota, including a trip to Memorial and Kinnick, two of the most toughest places to play. And I think Wisconsin, at most, has probably 4 losses. Ohio State, Northwestern, either Northwestern or Michigan State. They're going to lose one of those games. And then Iowa, and unfortunately, I think actually no, they're not going to lose to Nebraska. Get out of here. They're going to beat Nebraska. Nebraska freaking sucks until they prove otherwise. So 3 losses: Ohio State. I'm going to say one of Michigan State, Northwestern, and Iowa. There you go. At most 3 losses. They might even only lose one game, and that's to us. That's my thoughts on Wisconsin. All right. All right, let's move on. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, I don't know if Steele Jackson's watching. I doubt he is. But we're doing Pitt. And of course, they're going to have a new quarterback. I believe it's Slovis, isn't it? Keaton Slovis? I'm pretty sure. I know they have a new quarterback coming in with Kenny Pickett, actually, literally right next door in the same building. But how about this? They start off their season. I believe, what is this? The Battle for the Black Diamond or whatever it is that they call it. The Backyard Brawl. West Virginia. Heinz Field should be a doozy. I mean, I don't know much about these two teams, but I'm actually going to say West Virginia takes this one. I think they slip away with it. You know. Yeah, low-key, give me West Virginia in a very close one. Tennessee at home. I'm going to go with, I'm going to say Pitt escapes. Yeah, give me Pitt. Western Michigan should be a dub. Rhode Island, dub. Georgia Tech, win. Virginia Tech, probably a win. Then they end the season with Louisville, North Carolina, Syracuse, Virginia, and Duke, and Miami. I think they ride a long streak of W's until they reach Miami. And then they probably lose because, of course, they would. So overall, I think Pitt could probably lose at most 3 games if they play well and they avoid the injury bug. Losses to me, West Virginia. Unfortunately, I know Steele Jackson is going to hate me for saying that. That's not because I'm living there now, but like still, I mean, whatever. West Virginia, Tennessee, and Miami. Those are the 3 losses. I think Cristobal's going to have Miami looking real nice this year. Much like Florida, they're looking good on the recruiting trail. They're starting to build something out there in the University of Miami, Florida. Ha ha ha. That's Pitt. All right, moving on. Let's see who we got next. All right, so I'm at 16, and speaking of the U, we got to talk about that next, as they're literally 16th. Now, because, they're lunatics, they scheduled a HBCU team week 1, so obviously they want to start off their season 1-0. That's going to be the game where you're going to have the backups playing by probably second quarter. Then all the way to the fourth, you're going to have probably like the walk-ons playing by the fourth quarter, most likely, if they play their cards right. Imagine they lose to Bethune. Holy crap. My God. I mean, you don't sleep on a HBCU team, but you should win. Southern Miss should be a win. A&M, probably a loss. Middle Tennessee State, win. Bye week, October 1st. Then you wrap up with the gauntlet of North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Duke, Virginia, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Pitt. All of that group right there. I see a loss to, say, Virginia Tech, just because I think they could lose that game. Lane Stadium is a nasty environment. And I mean, they're probably going to lose a game they should win anyway, so I'm going to say it'll be that one. I think they lose to Florida State. And then I think they lose to Clemson. And of course, I just talked about the Pitt game. They beat Pitt. So, yeah, my thoughts on Miami. Moving on now, we go up to Sparty Land. Yay. Back to the Big Ten. Actually, I think I'm just going to hold off on doing predictions. I'm just going to talk about the schedule. Maybe, like I said, I'm just going to give you a basis prediction. Not going to go hardcore into it. I'm just going to say how many losses I think they could have. You know, this isn't like, oh, they will lose this many games. No, this is how many losses they could have. Because, you know, memorizing 25 different teams is crazy. It's a lunacy. So, or Penn State at home always does. Yep. Do we play Iowa this year? I think we do. Yes. So here is the schedule for the Spartans. So you see that Western Mich, Akron, Washington. They have to go halfway across the country. Okay, Minnesota, Maryland, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Michigan, of course, the team up north. Oh my God, I said the name. Oh, I'm cursed now. Oh. Illinois, Rutgers, Indiana, and Penn State. So out of the schedule, I see maybe 3 or 4 losses, maybe 5. Washington, they could easily lose to Minnesota or Maryland. They're going to lose to us. I just feel like it. I mean, look what happened last year. If they be playing like that again, oh my God. Yeah. By this time, I think we could be rolling too. So I'll say they lose to what? They could lose to Washington. They could lose either to Minnesota or Maryland, especially in Maryland. I think they could lose to us. They, you know, was in Washington and Wisconsin too. So their first half, they could easily lose 3 games, 3 or 4 games. And then you have the bottom half, and you have the team up north, which they're probably gonna lose, but you never know. I mean, they are looking for revenge from last year. Then you have Illinois, which should be a win. Rutgers and Indiana are wins. Penn State, I don't think it's the whiteout game, but Penn State's always tough, especially at Beaver. I think Penn State takes them down. So in all, probably 6 or so losses. That's tough. Tough schedule. Tough schedule. Mel Tucker's going to have his hands full. You almost pity Mel Tucker. But they have a good team. You know, they should be up for it. And now we get to the team that's been talked about arguably the most this offseason, and that is the USC Trojans. You know, I remember watching a USC game last year. I mean, when you watch USC home games, I mean, you look at the stands and the place is pretty much half empty. You get Lincoln Riley, and you know what's really messed up about the whole Lincoln Riley situation? I didn't even know this until I saw it on Twitter and stuff. Apparently, USC was literally like they had already, I guess, went to Lincoln Riley a while back. He was still coaching. Essentially, get this: Lincoln Riley was being paid by Oklahoma and recruiting for USC. So yeah, if that confuses you, Lincoln Riley was recruiting for USC, essentially utilizing Oklahoma's budget. From what I heard, if I remember correctly. Imagine that. Such a snake. The slitheriest, slimiest snake ever. That's why everyone hates Lincoln Riley. You know? And then, like, the majority of a lot of Oklahoma's recruits went there, including Caleb Williams. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do this year. But you look at their schedule, they face Rice and Stanford, Fresno State, who shouldn't be slept on. Just ask Oregon last year. But again, I think their quarterback's gone. Oregon State, Arizona State, Washington State, Utah. And we all know about Utah, right? At Rice Eccles. It's going to be an environment. Oh boy. If that game's on and Lincoln did Boomer Sooner. Yeah, he did them hella dirty. Read up on it. It's crazy. And like his coaches were leaving, like all left with him too. It's insane. Like read up on it. It's freaking nuts. Makes me appreciate Ryan Day that much more. You know. But yeah, they have Utah. That's gonna be an environment. If that game is on late enough, and like I don't know if we play that night that day, but if we play early enough, I might have to watch that game. If it's on like when there's no other games on. But obviously, if we're playing at the same time, obviously I'm gonna watch and stream my game. But yes, I will be streaming Ohio State games this year, in case you're wondering. Arizona, Cal, Colorado, UCLA, and Notre Dame. I've already talked about that game. We've been talking about that game a lot. I've talked about that team a little bit. Ryan Day bleeds scarlet and gray. Same thing with Brian Hartline. I think in his first year as head coach, the most losses USC has on their schedule is probably 3, maybe 3. They could easily lose to Fresno. Don't sleep on like an Oregon State or Arizona State or Wazoo upset. I think Utah would take them down. Utah's a very good team. They will be a very good team for a while. They could easily lose to UCLA or Notre Dame. So I'll say they ultimately lose probably 3 games. I could see them losing to Notre Dame. You lose, I'm going to say, yeah, Notre Dame, Utah, and I'll say they lose like a game that they honestly should win. I'm going to say they lose a heartbreaker to like Arizona State or Fresno or something. Yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on that one. But yeah, USC, man, their fans are definitely juiced up after Lincoln Riley showed up there. I saw this freaking video. I didn't even know if it was real. He did like this freaking press conference, like a press conference, and it looks like a freaking skit. I swear. He's like walking up to the podium thing, and they have like the small contingent of the Trojan band. They like have like 6 freaking what trumpet like, instrument players and like a couple like their dancers or whatever walk up to the front, and they did this horror. Like I don't even know. It was so cringe. I'm pretty sure you could probably look it up on like YouTube or something. It's so bad. It made me want to freaking vomit. I was like, what is that? I honestly thought it was a skit. I thought it was a skit by like Barstool or something. Because I swear, one of the people in the band looked like someone from Barstool, from PFT. I think it was actually, it looked like PFT himself. Or not PFT himself, but like the guy that does like one of the commentator, PFT guys. Not Brandon Walker, the other one. Pretty much. But yeah, I think USC will be a sneaky good team this year. Now, next year is going to be fun for them because they're getting all these guys coming in next year. But this year is going to be like a little preview, a little taste of what's to come. But now we move on to a team that, a lot of people are probably going to be keeping an eye on, and that is NC State. So we go to the ACC, and we go to the Wolf Pack of NC State. We go to 2022 schedule, and you look at their schedule, and it's pretty decent. East Carolina should be a win. Charleston Southern, Texas Tech. Whatever happened to Jessica Ponder? She was so bad. I don't know what happened to her. Charleston Southern, Texas Tech at home. UConn, a team that could barely win any games at all. They could barely score points at all either. Clemson, Florida State, and Syracuse. Then they go have their bye week. Then they have Tech, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, BCU, and Louisville with North Carolina at the end. Christian Ponder, oh yeah, for sure. I think a couple losses in there. Clemson, Florida State could be a loss. Virginia Tech could be a loss. Boston College could be a loss. And North Carolina could be a loss. They could also lose to Texas Tech, too. There's like 5 or 6 losses in there if they don't play their best ball. So we'll see how they do. All right, moving on. I'm going to start flying through these because it is late. I don't want to be here all night. Besides, I'm already at number 12. The Oklahoma State Cowboys. Yep, guns up, baby. Of course, they shocked everybody and beat Oklahoma in Bedlam. Now, this year's Bedlam is going to be fun, though, because you have Brent Venables over there in Oklahoma. But you look at the Cowboys' schedule: Central Michigan, Arizona State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, bye week. Then you face off against Baylor in I think the rematch of, right? Yeah, the rematch of the Big 12 title game. It's still crazy to me. Baylor versus OK State in the Big 12 title game. The most random combination of teams ever. It's insane. And of course, it was one of the craziest games of the whole championship weekend, too. Texas Tech, TCU, Texas. We back, baby. No, you're not. Kansas State, Kansas, Iowa State, of course, Boomer Sooner, and West Virginia. Sam Ponder, never mind. Yeah, Sam Ponder. I was like, who the heck's Jessica Ponder? Low key. But I was like, wait, Jessica, or is it? I was like, something like that. Oklahoma State. I think looking at their schedule right off the bat, 2 or 3 losses. Baylor. Yeah, I think they could lose to Baylor. Baylor could beat them. You never know. I mean, they could lose. They could beat Baylor. Could go either way. Baylor, Texas, and Oklahoma. There you go. 3 losses right there. Baylor, Texas, or Oklahoma are my big losable, big games for them that they could lose. So we'll see how they do. All right, next we got the Mighty Ducks of Oregon. Yeah, let's talk about the Ducks. The Ducks. Team that went to the Pac-12 title game and got the doors blown off of them, not once but twice by Utah. They got their doors blown off in the regular season, and then they met them again, and they got the doors blown off again. They had a lot of drama with their quarterback situation, too. And of course, they beat Ohio State. Hey, Crazy Duck, at least we made it to the Pac-12 title game. What were you guys doing? That's probably what they were thinking. Well, we went to the Rose Bowl and we beat the team that you couldn't beat. Ha 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 ha. Nah, Oregon fans are pretty cool, I guess. I don't really know too many of them. But yeah, they seem alright. Oh, look at that schedule. Oh boy. Yeah, week 1, you face Georgia. Georgia. Travel across the country to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to probably get your doors blown off by Georgia. Have fun, everybody. And then you have Eastern Washington, BYU. I've already talked about them. Wazoo, Stanford, Arizona. Then you have the off week, bye week, UCLA, Colorado, Washington, Utah, and Oregon State. Man, couple losses, but definitely at least one, probably 2 losses. Georgia, they could honestly go on a tear and just like win the rest of their games after that game. But I think they're going to lose to like Utah. I think they could lose to freaking Cal or UCLA out of nowhere. I wouldn't even be shocked if Arizona took them down. And I mean, Oregon State has been pretty decent. But I think overall, that team's going to be nice. I'm going to give them 2 losses. Yeah. Georgia and Utah. Because they can't beat Utah for now, apparently. They see the Utes and stuff, and they just wilt away. They go, ugh. The Ducks get fried. Ugh. Yeah, the Ducks got to beat Utah. They have to. At home, too. They very well might, but Utah's a good team. What's up, Ant? What's going on? Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'd say about 2 losses, and maybe even one. All right, and speaking of Baylor, let's talk about their schedule. Dave Aranda is the coach. I mentioned earlier, new quarterback. And as their other quarterback went to USF, I believe he's now the starter there. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about that. But here's their schedule. And they start off with a nice little scrub beatdown, taking Bearcats week 1 and Florida State over LSU. All right, I see you then. Okay. You Albany Great Danes. That's going to be the game again where, the starters are out by halftime and the freaking walk-ons are going to be in there getting some run by like middle fourth quarter. BYU, though, week 2 is going to be good. In Provo, oh, baby. Then you have Texas State, so another beat down game. Okay, cool. Iowa State should be a good one at Jack Trice. Always is. Oklahoma State should be fun. Ohio State and Oregon, week 1 upset over Georgia. Nice. That would be fun. I wouldn't be shocked if Oregon took it. I wouldn't be shocked. It's week 1. Anything can happen. Baylor has West Virginia. And then Kansas, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, who has given Oklahoma fits over the years. I mean, I swear Baylor was in Oklahoma's nightmares ever since Baker famously called them, "Tell you who your daddy is," and then Baylor's like, "All right, bet." After that, a couple years, like the past couple years, they've been 4. But yeah, Kansas State and TCU and Texas. So overall, Baylor, they could lose a couple games, steamrolling everyone this year. We'll see. I think the only losable games, they could lose to BYU. That's for sure. That travel alone will get them. Iowa State, they could lose that game. Overall, I think they could lose 4 games. Yeah. BYU, Iowa State, I'm going to say Oklahoma, and I'm going to say Texas. Baylor looks like a team that can get 6 wins. By the way, if there's anyone from any of these schools like that I'm talking about in the chat, say what's up and let me know give me a little scouting report on your team. How good do you think they're going to be? What's the situation over there? And tell me if I'm a freaking jabroni for saying your team's going to win how many games. But I think they could, at best, 4 losses. At worst, oh God, the wheels could completely fall off. Like, they could lose to freaking BYU, Iowa State, OK State. I think they lose to West Virginia or Kansas. Texas Tech they could lose to. Oklahoma, Kansas State. I think they could beat TCU, and then they could lose to Texas. They could lose a lot of games. They could lose a lot of games, but I think they do just fine. 6-6. Yeah, that sounds about right around there. 4 to 6 losses for Baylor, depending on how their quarterback situation goes. New quarterback there this time, as Bohannon's now in USF. We'll see how they do. But I feel like Dave Aranda's going to have that team looking nice. And then, of course, because, the AP loves torture, they put Oklahoma at number 9. And oh boy, do we got some things to say about this team. Man. So, again, if you weren't in here about 5 minutes or so ago, Lincoln Riley is no longer the coach of Oklahoma. So here's their schedule. UTEP, Kent State, lovely. Should be fun, right? Nebraska, ooh, that's a rivalry as old as time. Kansas State, TCU, Texas, Kansas. I love my team, Arkansas. Hey, yo, we got an Arky fan. What's good, Arky? Yeah, Arky should be a good team this year. Hey, man, don't call us Arky. I'm waiting for someone to say, like, oh, don't call my team that. I do what I want. Kansas, I mean, I swear, Kansas gave Oklahoma probably the biggest heart attack of the year last year in terms of games that they actually won. I thought Kansas was going to take them down. Wait a minute. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a game. It might have been that Oklahoma game last year. Kansas, it was like late in the game, and Kansas, their Twitter account tweeted out, "Hey yo, if you want to come watch us play, you can just come down here. The gates are open. You don't need a ticket. You can just run down here real quick and populate our stadium, make us look good." Pretty much. Oklahoma has best O-line in conference. Yeah, I follow. The thing about Baker being in with us for the last couple years, I had a lot of Oklahoma fans on my timeline, so I always kept up with them. This might have been one of the few teams outside of Ohio State that I know the most about because of all their fans on Twitter that were Browns fans that are now Panther fans. Yeah, they got a great team, new quarterback, new coach, new system, and their fan base is juiced up about this year. Why wouldn't they be? Yeah, they're juiced up. In their minds, they're going undefeated. They're going national title. First year with Brent Venables. Like nobody can stop them. Oh, Arkansas, OU, and Fresno. Wow. Kansas won in one game this year. You know what? Just for lulz, let's look at their schedule after this. But yeah, UTEP, Kansas State, Nebraska, 3-0. Kansas State, we all know how many issues Kansas State's given them over the years with Lincoln Riley. God, there was a game they should be winning, but they've lost that team so many times. TCU could be a loss. We'll see. Texas, yeah, it's gonna be a fun game with all the stuff going on in Texas. New quarterbacks and stuff. I think they still have Hudson Card, but I know they have viewers. They just got Arch Manning. Things are gonna get fun over there real quick. Kansas, Iowa State, then you have Baylor, West Virginia, OK State, and Texas Tech. And I know them Sooners are looking for revenge for last year at Bedlam, where they got upset. I'm gonna say at most probably 3 losses. I know I'm saying 3 losses for a lot of teams, but they're good teams. It wouldn't shock me if they lost to Nebraska, but Nebraska's not very good. But this would be the year that they come out on top, come out on fire, because of course they would. I mean, it would be about time for Scott Frost to finally have a winning season over there. Guy, he was so good at UCF, and then he goes there and he's an absolute bum. I don't even know if he's even there anymore. Kansas going 1-11. We'll see. I got to see what their schedule is. Now I'm curious. But in terms of Oklahoma, at best, probably 2 or 3 losses. They could lose to Texas in the Cotton Bowl. You never know. And I think West Virginia, Baylor, possibly Bedlam, maybe Texas Tech. Who knows? I think the only 2 losable games they have are the rivalry games, Bedlam and the Red River or the rivalry, whatever they call it now. Those are legit the only 2 games that they could really legit lose. They could win the rest of them. They should win the rest of them. That's how good they are. Yeah. But now because you guys got me curious, I got to see what this Kansas schedule looks like. All right, so here's the Kansas Jayhawks schedule. They're not in the top 25. I'm just curious. So, Tennessee Tech, West Virginia. I finally played college football fantasy this year. Fantasy? What? Okay. West Virginia, Houston, Duke, Iowa State, TCU, Oklahoma, Baylor, OK State, Texas Tech, and Texas. And Kansas State. They might actually only win 1 game this year. They could lose to every team. It wouldn't even shock me if they lost week 1. I mean, I don't know how good they're going to be. I mean, remember when they had Les Miles and then that completely fell off? That seemed more like a PR move than anything. Hey guys, we got Les Miles. We're going to be good this year. How'd that go? Let's get back on track. So, of course, we're going to look at the team up north because why not? They're right ahead of Oklahoma. So let's see what their schedule look like. Can't wait until they go undefeated and their fans be like, yeah, look at us, man. They go undefeated into the game and then we just absolutely curb stomp them like usual. So here is the team up north schedule. As you can see, Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn. Wow, what a mighty, mighty out-of-conference schedule they have. My God, they might go 0-3. I'm joking. They're probably going to win every game, like up until our game. In the games that could be tough, Iowa, because Kinnick Stadium is like a freaking madhouse. Um, how hyped am I to see James Madison? Oh yeah, they're in the FBS now. Ooh, they're like the one team that could challenge the what is it, North Dakota State? That's gonna be something. Nebraska. Oh, nice. UConn. I mean, they literally could win every game besides our game and Sparty and Iowa. Those are probably going to be the three losses they could have. Well, they would have one loss. And you already know what game that's going to be. Wink, wink. But the other two, Iowa and Sparty, those could be the only three games they lose all year. They could also lose to Penn State, but I don't know how good Penn State will be. They just had a freaking linebacker enter the transfer portal, and that linebacker was one of their most vocal recruiters. Dude was on Twitter gassing up his, Nightly Lion saying, "Yeah, man, we're gonna take everybody from you. We're gonna beat all y'all." And now he's in the transfer portal, and I wonder where he's gonna go. People on Twitter think he's probably gonna go to Virginia Tech. Guess we'll find out later, won't we? But yeah, we'll see what the team up north will look like. I think at least one or two losses for them, maybe three. They're gonna like. I could just see them going undefeated until November, no, up to the game, and then their fans would be like, "Oh, we're gonna beat you again," and then like middle of the second quarter, it's like freaking 35-10 Buckeyes, and they're like, "Well, damn." I don't think it'll be like this, but I mean, by that time, we could be humming, man. We could be a freaking well-oiled machine. The defense could be clamping down. JT and Jack could be eating people alive. I mean, people seem to forget how good JT was in high school, and Jack is very good too. And we're going to be an aggressive defense, man. I am excited to see what Ohio State can do on D. My only worry is our depth, especially in the secondary. But we do have a kid who actually reclassified from Pickerington Central, and he's one of the second teamers, so we might see him this year a little bit. But now let's talk about the next team on the list, and that'll be, oh look, it's the team that we beat in the Rose Bowl last year. Yes, that's right. It's the Utah Utes, the team that's been stomping on Oregon the last couple times. So, Utah will actually have a little bit of a excursion here as their season starts off in Florida against the Gators. You think Arkansas can beat Alabama? It's possible. It very well is. They could do it. If anybody's gonna do it, it'll be a SEC team. I mean, A&M beat them last year. I wouldn't be shocked if Arkansas could do it. But Utah faces the Gators. And fun fact, the Gators actually head to Utah next year. That's a very rare occurrence. They don't usually travel outside of Florida to face an out of conference team. And yeah, so that'll be fun. Then you have Southern Utah, San Diego State, Arizona State, Oregon State, UCLA, USC, there you go. And then, of course, you have Wazoo, Arizona, Stanford, Oregon, and Colorado. Okay. Fun schedule. I think Utah, once again, will win the Pac 12 in their division because they're that good, I think. And I think the only games they could lose, USC and maybe Oregon. That's how good I think they're going to be this year. But we'll see. That's always the thing. We'll see. Yeah, 10-2. I think they could lose to USC and Oregon this year. That's how good I think their teams are going to be. But overall, I think Utah will be a very good team again this year. No cap at all. All right, now we're going to number 6, and this team, man, they were spending some major dough during the recruiting period, and this team could very well be a team to really watch out for. They're a team that took down Alabama last year, one of the few teams to do it, and of course that team is the A&M Aggies. Sam Houston State, that's a dub. App State, dub. Miami, Probably a win. Arkansas. There you go, buddy. AT&T Stadium too. Neutral site. Love it. And I think that'll be a fun game. I could see A&M taking it, but also I could see Arkansas taking it. Mississippi State, probably a win. Bama, ooh, biggest game of the week, definitely. You know Bama's trying to get revenge at home too. I'm gonna say Bama wins that game, but yeah, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, UMass. There's the cupcake game, and then LSU. The losable games for A&M are, well, I guess you could even say Florida, Miami, Florida, Arkansas is a possible loss. Alabama. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Bama. Again, imagine they could beat Bama again. Imagine they do it twice in a row. Oh my goodness. That'll really piss Saban off. And wait, weren't their coaches the ones that went at it about NIL? So that game's gonna have a little bit of tension to it. Might need a little extra security around there, for the coaches. And I know everybody's going to be watching that coach's handshake regardless of who wins. Oh boy, that'll be fun. But yeah, the only games I see A&M possibly losing are, again, Miami, Florida, Arkansas, Alabama, and maybe LSU. Because maybe they get caught sleepwalking. They really could beat everyone else. They should, honestly, in my opinion. That's how good their team could be. All right, so moving on, we are going up to number 5, the top 5. It's about damn time, right? Top 5, and we're talking about our week 1 opponent, the Irish of Notre Dame. If I can find their freaking schedule here. Okay, there we go. All right, here's their schedule. Let's do this 2022 schedule. All right. As soon as it loads up. So as you see, obviously, they face us week 1. We all know how that game's going to go, right? Then they face Marshall. That should be a win. California, they face Cal. North Carolina on the road. They have BYU in Vegas. Stanford, UNLV, Syracuse on the road. Clemson at home. Navy midshipmen. Well, I guess neutral site-ish, kind of. And then they have Boston College and USC. Of course, you have Freeman versus Lincoln Riley. I've already talked about that game. In terms of losses, you already know. Week 1. Duh. And other than that game, I think they probably could lose to Clemson, maybe. And probably USC. That's really it to me. Okay. So that's really all I got to say about the Irish. So let's go now to number 4. And that is the Clemson Tigers. Speaking of which, let's see who the Tigers face off. And again, looking at their schedule, Georgia Tech, win. Furman, win. Louisiana Tech, probably a win. Wake Forest, win. NC State, could be tough, but I think they could win. Boston College, on the road. That's going to be a toughie. Yep. Don't sleep on that Marshall team. They have a stud. Yeah, I mean, living where I do now, I hear a lot about Marshall. I just think Notre Dame would be too much for him. But you never know. That's the beauty of college football. You don't play the game on paper. You play it on the field. You never know what could happen. But yeah, Florida State, that could be a tough game for Clemson on the road. Syracuse, of course, Notre Dame, Miami, and South Carolina. I think if everything is going well for them, if DJ's not playing like a scrub again, if the offense can actually score touchdowns and stuff, I think they might lose only like 3 games. They're a good team. They're always a good team. They recruit highly every year. And I think they'll once again be fighting for a potential playoff spot. I think the only games they lose are possibly Miami, Florida, Notre Dame, maybe Florida State, and they could easily get caught off guard by Georgia Tech, but nah. I think those three games I mentioned, Florida State, Notre Dame, and Miami, Florida. That's really it, in my opinion. That's the thing. It's my opinion, so who knows? Now we're going to talk about the reigning, defending national champions of the world, the Georgia Bulldogs. I've already mentioned one of their games being Oregon. Of course, they faced the Duckies, the Rubber Ducks, or not the Rubber Ducks, but yeah, the Ducks week one. That'll be a fun game. Neutral site, or kind of a neutral site. Not neutral for the dogs because it's in Georgia. Just only neutral in venue, not in area. Samford, win. South Carolina, win. Kent State, win. Missouri, win. Auburn, win. Vanderbilt, win. Then they have the world's largest cocktail party, which, by the way, they can now host recruits for. Hey, yo. That's probably going to be a win. Tennessee, win. Mississippi State, win. Kentucky, win. Georgia Tech, will win. Because they're going to blow the doors off of them like they usually do. So, again, the only game I could really see them losing with confidence is Oregon. But even then, they could go undefeated again. Could be the best team out of the Virginia and West Virginia states. It's possible. You have to really keep an eye on Marshall this year, considering I live like a few hours away from their campus. Oh man, I live like damn near smack dab between West Virginia University and Marshall University, like right around the areas. Sort of. You know, not really, but yeah, you get the idea. I'm like right there. I get coverage of both teams. So, should be fun. I'm hoping both teams can actually be good. It'd be fun to like hear about Marshall being a really good team this year, and I can be like, hey, I remember, I know Marshall. Yeah, I kind of live there, somewhat. Like I'm there in the state, but not in the area. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, moving on. I'm gonna talk about my Buckeyes now. I'm gonna try not to be supremely biased, but you guys should probably already know about how I think we're gonna do. I mean, this is my team after all. But as you can see, here's our schedule. So, of course, we face Notre Dame week 1, 15 minutes away from a Division II school, too. Nice. When I lived in Ohio, I lived, I think, like a half an hour from a Division II or 3 school. Yeah, Baldwin Wallace. I lived, like, about a half hour away from there. It's, like, right by where Brown's camp is. But yeah, Notre Dame, Arkansas State, Toledo. I love how like after the big game against Notre Dame, we have two games that we're gonna have freaking pickups playing by freaking halftime. And you know what I love the most though? The most random freaking night game ever. Toledo at 7 o'clock on Fox. Please tell me they give us freaking Gus Johnson calling that game. Dude's gonna be freaking get this. My dude's gonna be in the booth just sitting there like this. He's gonna be like, CJ Stroud. This will be him by freaking halftime. Stroud back to pass. Looking, clean pocket. Still looking. He throws it down the middle and it's caught by Harrison for the touchdown. It is 40-0 Buckeyes near the end of the first half. Thank God. Can I leave yet? Oh my gosh. I think we're probably gonna see like freaking Devin Brown playing in that game a lot. Arkansas State ripped to us. Damn. Dang. Yeah, play Arky State this year. I think we were supposed to play like San Jose State. Was that next year? And they just said, nope, we're done. We're not playing you. It's like, okay, buddy. Bye bye. I think that was next year. But yeah, this is our schedule. Wisconsin, Rutgers, Sparty, Iowa, Penn State, Northwestern, Indiana, Maryland, and of course, the game. realistically, we could easily go to like 11-0, 12-0 this year. We could go 11-0 heading into the game, and man, I know Ryan Day's gonna have that. He's had that game circled ever since that last. Wow, he's had that game circled since that last game ended. The moment that freaking clock hit all zeros in Ann Arbor and their fans started storming the field, my dude probably went in the locker room and he probably was like, "Yep, we're gonna kill these guys next year." Because it just seems like the vibe is just different with this team, and I love it. Like they're not messing around this year. They were kind of said they were soft last year, and then you have C.J. Stroud saying I think he was like sick or something. Lovely. But yeah, we could easily maybe if we lose any games, it's probably going to be week one because new systems and everything. But if we take care of business every week, we could go 12-0. Like no lie at all. Butch Jones needs help. Oh man. All right, so that's my team. Let's talk about the number one team in the top 25. No surprise, it's Alabama. And yeah, you look at their schedule, and there's a lot of beefcakes on this schedule. Good teams, but nowhere near as good as freaking Alabama. That's what I'm gonna call teams that are good, but they're like low level. Like they're not cupcakes. They're beefcakes because they're big and buff. They're still wimps. It's actually a good idea. Ooh, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna say beefcake game because they're big and buff, but yet they're still wimps because they're nowhere near Alabama. Utah State, get out of here. Texas, come on. ULM, 70 nothing freaking Alabama by halftime. No, I'm joking, but still, that'd be a blowout. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, you never know. Same thing with A&M. Tennessee, nah. Mississippi State, LSU, Ole Miss, be fun. Take someone to join the SEC, and it's going to find out real hard, real soon. Yep. Ole Miss. Okay. Something called Austin P. Tell you one thing. Those governors are going to be peeing themselves when they see Alabama. But and then you have Auburn in the Iron Bowl. If anyone's going to beat Alabama, it's going to be either Texas, maybe Arkansas or A&M, one of those two. Maybe LSU, possibly, probably not, and Auburn. And in reality, nobody beats Alabama. Nobody does. I don't think Alabama loses, but we'll see. That's my phrase. We'll see, because I say that all the time. But yeah, that is it for my schedule reviews or whatever. I might just change the title to reviews because I did a little bit of predictions, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I've been going for about an hour, which is pretty not too bad. And real quick, in the coaches poll, essentially the same. The only difference is you had like in terms of teams, Texas actually got a first place vote. Wow, they weren't lying. Texas got a first place vote in the coaches poll, and they were 18th. There's really no differences at all. Just movement, like not in terms of teams. The same teams are in here. Now, in terms of teams that just, oh yeah, how about the FCS team coaches, the FCS coaches poll. I'm not going to go through these schedules because I don't want to be here till 3 a.m. But you have Richmond, you have Rhode Island, Mercer, UC Davis, Northern Iowa, Weber State, Delaware, Holy Cross. I think I did their schedule like a few years ago when I first started doing schedule reviews. Jackson State, Southeast Louisiana, UT Martin, Incarnate Word. Wow. No lie, I saw their logo somewhere on 247 recruiting, and I thought that was Lamar, the team Lamar. Chattanooga, East Tennessee, Eastern Washington, East Tennessee State, Stephen F. Austin, Southern Illinois, Missouri State, Sacramento State. There's Kennesaw State. I talked about them in this briefly in this stream. Villanova, Montana State, South Dakota State, who had one first place vote, Montana, and North Dakota State. And in terms of like AFCA coaches poll, you had like Augustana, you had Midwestern State, Slippery Rock, Bemidji State. What the heck's a Bemidji State? Okay. California, PA. There's a California, PA. What the heck? Wachita State. What the heck? Lenore Rhine, Albany State, Western Colorado. I've heard of them. New Haven, Newberry, Nebraska Kearney, Kutztown. I think I've heard of that team. West Georgia, West Florida. I've heard of West Florida. Low key. Notre Dame College. Yeah, that's an Ohio school. In fact, the Browns got someone from there. Yeah, they signed one of the tight ends. That's pretty dope. I'm excited to see how I think it's Mitchell Payton from there. He's been looking good at camp, low key. Harding University, Bowie State, Angelo State, Shepherd. I've heard of Shepherd. Grand Valley, I've heard of, low key. Colorado School of Mines. What? Um, um, Mines? You mean like mining or boom boom mine? I don't think you know that school. And there's like a random minefield and a random field. But like, so what do we do here? At this school, we learn how to deactivate mines. It's like, lovely. Nice. What happened to that kid? Oh, he got his foot blown off because he stepped in the wrong spot. Okay, yep, I'm actually out of here. Okay, see you guys. Have fun. I'm transferring. I did not think about that. You mean to tell me you saw our school's name and you decided to come here? It's like, I thought it was about like mining, like digging. Oh yeah, we've had people say that a lot. They see the minefield and they immediately leave. Imagine how crazy that would be if you saw a freaking minefield in a freaking university. No lie. I saw that name and I'm like, I thought it said mimes. Just imagine a university of mimes. Oh my god. Just imagine like a bunch of freaking teachers walking around with face paint and striped shirts and like they'd be like, oh my god. What goes on in my psychotic head of mine? Oh my god. The GAC conference. Nice. Team near me, Arkansas Tech, projected to be ninth in the conference out of 12. Sheesh. Um, Valdosta State, I've definitely heard of. Northwestern Missouri State, yep, I think I've heard of them too. And Ferris State, yeah, they're out of Michigan, I believe. Yeah, they're in the they in like the Great Lakes Athletic, I think it is conference, something like that. But overall, let's see what teams made their missed the. I'm actually very curious to see what other teams are in here. Oh, I see. I see what they're doing. Okay, it's just talking about teams that they play. All right. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. It is 1:30 a.m. and got nothing else to really to say. So shout out to everyone who came through. Shout out to Regier for coming through. We're called the Wonder Boys. Oh boy, I literally just went out of pocket with those last few with that last like little thing I just went on about the School of Mines. Like I can't imagine being a School of Mines. Like what do they do at the School of? You know what? I'm curious now. Dang my curiosity! I gotta look that up. Now I'm curious. Colorado School of Mines. I gotta see their schedule. I wonder how many school ofs they play. I'm actually scared to look. We were on HBO Sports because they did a special a few years back on a guy drowning. Oh, we go. What are they called though? But oh, they play Grand Valley. Okay. Angelo State, Adams State, CSU Pueblo, Chadron. I've heard of Chadron. Colorado Mesa, South Dakota. South Dakota Mines. Huh? Black Hills, Western Colorado, New Mexico Highlands, and Fort Lewis. Ain't no freaking way. There's two schools with mines in the name. Ain't no freaking way. Oh well. But yeah, I'll see you guys whenever. I know we're supposed to be getting the ruling out soon. I might go live for that when that comes out. Well, I'll make a video on it, definitely. Of course, I'll be doing my preview video for the Eagles game tomorrow. That'll be fun. And yeah, we'll see what happens with the Cavs too, because I've heard nothing about the Cavs in the last couple hours. Um, I know they've been leaking some games, so well, I guess on the bright side, we don't play on Christmas, so should be fun. We don't play on Christmas, so I can just relax. I always hate playing on holidays because it's like I want to be able to spend my holiday with family and then maybe like come on YouTube and just watch a stream. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up, guys. Football season is almost here, and it's actually insane considering that literally 2 weeks from this Saturday will be Notre Dame Ohio State, and you already know I'll be live for that game. I believe it'll be a night game, so that'll be fine. That'll be awesome, And if you're wondering like what games are going on that day too, let me help you guys out and let me look for that schedule here real quick. Um, NCAA football 2020. Oh, come on. Week 1 schedule. Okay. All right, so let's see what awesome games we have week 1. For anyone that's curious, that may not know. So you have Nebraska Northwestern. Okay, that's not really, don't really care about that one. Um, Not really a whole lot of crazy good games. Who the heck is LIU Post? Oh, Long Island University. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. Oklahoma State, Central Mish, West Virginia. Of course, they have the Backyard Brawl or whatever the heck that is now, the Black Diamond, whatever. I think it's a Black Diamond battle or whatever. Battle for the Black Diamond, West Virginia Pitt. Alabama A&M UAB. Nah, I don't really care. Penn State Purdue should be decent. Oh man, not a whole lot of good games. Those are on September 1st. Oh damn. Wow. Let's do September 3rd. Let's see what good games we have on the 3rd. This is usually when we get the decent games. So at noon, the noon slot, you have Buffalo, Maryland, CC, Yukon, Team Up North, and Colorado State. Delaware Navy, Rutgers, BC. Ooh, Rutgers and BC. Sam Houston and A&M. Uh-huh. North Carolina, App State. Richmond, Virginia. Richmond versus Virginia. Nice. Bowling Green versus UCLA. Bethune and Miami U. Houston, Utah, UTSA. Arkansas, Cincy. 3:30 p.m. I'm definitely watching that game. If I'm not watching another game. That one, then at 3:30. Oh my God. They really have Cincinnati, Arkansas at the same time as Oregon, Georgia. Because of course they do. Uh-huh. And then you have UTEP, Oklahoma, whatever. Same time as well. BYU, South Florida should be decent. UC Davis, Cal. And then you have like a billion games on at the same time. Baylor, Albany, USC, Rice. And then at 7 o'clock, Auburn, Mercer, Miami, Ohio, Kentucky. Of course, we play at that time too, so that'll be fun. Notre Dame and Ohio State, 7:30. Same time as Utah State and Alabama, SMU, North Texas. At 8 o'clock, Colgate, Stanford. Um, yeah. Unless game of the night is actually like scheduled as Clemson, Georgia Tech. They're a part of the that's September 5th. Oh damn. The 3 o'clock, 10:30 slot, like the late games, which would usually be Pac-12 after dark. You only have like three teams technically at Pac-12 teams playing after dark. Wazoo, Idaho, Oregon State, Boise State, Kent State, Washington, and then you have the the classic Western Kentucky Hawaii game for those people who cannot sleep at 12 midnight on September 4th. And then you have Florida State LSU and then Clemson Georgia Tech on Monday, September 5th. Because of course. Yeah, Vandy Hawaii should be fun, right? Well, no, Hawaii plays Western Kentucky. Imagine, being a Hilltopper fan, knowing that you gotta wait all damn day for your team to play. Like you're the first team to play September 4th on that Sunday. And then you have Florida State LSU. Now that should be a doozy. Brian Kelly's first game as a member of as the coach of the Tigers. But yeah, man, I cannot wait for college football. And same thing for Browns too. I'm gonna be doing videos all the rest of the off season. I know I said I was gonna make videos gassing this team up, but I mean, right now the vibes are kind of weird because the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I'll still make videos about it, especially as we get closer to the season, you know. But yeah, be on the lookout for my Eagles preview video tomorrow. And then if we make it, which we should be making some cuts tomorrow, because that's the deadline day for the cut down to 85. I'll make a video about the 5 players we get rid of, and then any other roster moves we make, because we might have some other moves to make, some IR moves and stuff. So, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna head on out of here, and I will see you all maybe tomorrow. So, with that being said, wait, when was the last time an SEC school went to Hawaii and played? Man, I honestly have no idea. And the thing is, Hawaii's not even playing at Aloha Stadium. I think they're getting a new stadium, so they're playing at like some rinky-dink old soccer field. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me look that up. Now I'm curious again. I'm curious again. I want to see what happens with that. All right, new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District. Okay. 2023 opener in danger. Uh-oh. Wow. New concept unveiled. Approves funds to build new stadium. That was on July 14th, a month ago. Wow. Because the reason why they have to get a new stadium, if you're wondering, is because the sea salt, the salty like air and stuff from the ocean, has been eating away at Aloha Stadium for years, and that made that stadium essentially like unusable. That's why the NFL went away from Hawaii and stuff, because that stadium's pretty much just it's literally like ready to crack. I mean, that'd be the worst thing ever. I mean, think of FedEx Field, but in the middle of an ocean, pretty much. That's what it is, almost. Yeah, guys, I'll see you guys later. All right, I gotta head out. I could be here all night, and I don't really want to do that. So, yeah, let me know what you think. And you better play FCS School of the Living games on their schedule. Ah, you know what? I'm extremely bored, so let's take a look at Vandy. I mean, why not? Last thing ever. Who does Vandy play? Do I even want to look? Because, they say cupcake teams for SEC. Could you have a cupcake team play against you when you're the cupcake team? All right, last thing. Let's take a look and see who they got to play because I know I'm curious now. Damn curiosity. As they say, curiosity killed the cat. So they play Hawaii and then Elon, Wake Forest, Northern Illinois, and then Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Mizzou, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee. So the only games they could really win are their first two games. After that, a whole bunch of losses, in my opinion. So we'll see how they do. I'm sure they'll be popping up on my highlights every once in a while, like on my TV, getting scored upon, like they usually do. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and hopefully we get some news about Deshaun Watson and, of course, some Cavs games. That'd be nice. I would love to hear about who we got to play opening night and how many national games we have, because I know we're gonna have quite a few. So yeah, football season's almost here, as is basketball season. Can't freaking wait. But I'll see you all later. All right. So have a good night. And Crazy Dog, let's go Buckeyes. I might do a video probably next week or so, just guessing up the Buckeyes, talk about the roster and everything, talk about how good we're gonna be. Usual stuff. All right, guys, I'm out.